Well,
So
welcome
you've
to the
got
show.
welcome to Books Boys. You got Dean and PJ. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Ellen Nichols, and my book's called Remember Whose Little Girl You Are.
There it is on camera. If
There we
you can
go.
see, remember whose little girl you are. And
Yeah,
this was a fun read, and I must say it was a quick one. It's just over 100 pages. So I sat down and read it in maybe a day, just a day and a
yeah,
little bit. I really enjoyed it. I want to ask you
yeah,
before I say anything about it, is because it's a memoir, right? Is this
yeah.
strictly fact, or is there any like fictionalized stuff added in?
No, it's as I remember it exactly.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And the people that said all the things that upset me
There's some
really,
bad
really
people.
said them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what made you want to write a memoir? I mean, I understand because there's interesting stuff in it, but I mean, what was your idea that said, I want to write this?
What happened was that I grew up down here where I am now in the South, in small town Alabama
Okay.
and Pensacola, Florida. And then I was going to go to graduate school, and I thought I'll do something exciting and go somewhere different. My mother was from Toronto, so I went to the University of Toronto to graduate school and stayed 50 years.
Oh,
50
wow.
years. Wow, goodness.
And my son now teaches at the University of Toronto.
Wow. But you
Oh,
did
And
great.
eventually move back.
so eventually I did back in 2000. Sorry, I'm having a problem with my voice, so it sounds croaky, but
Don't
Fine.
worry.
it'll get better. And so he I moved back down here in 2014
Okay.
because one of those boys from high school lured me back down to marry him.
All
Oh my
right.
God.
So we got married in 2015, and we're still here. And you
Oh my
just
God.
miss my son and his family by a day. They were just here for a week on a
Oh,
vacation.
Oh,
And
lovely.
my two granddaughters are go to the university, and where my son teaches, where I went, that's a family
Wow.
thing.
Well, that's a lovely ending. Dean was telling me some very depressing stories by a Spanish author, so I like to hear that real life is also ends well. So
Yeah,
lovely.
I
it
mean,
does.
this. Well, Ellen, your story ended well, but there was some bumps along the way. If we if we take it from the book,
Oh, yeah.
you talk about it's some stuff about your life. Obviously, there's a part of it where you do list a lot of different guys, but it's not just that, you know. But
Uh,
which is your own biggest takeaway from it? You know, of the different guys, and we have Virgil, we have all these different guys. Which is the one that you think is the most, not the best or the worst, but the most powerful to read in the book?
Hmm. Hmm.
um, Probably the one I remember best and fondest, and unfortunately he passed away about 3 years ago, was
Oh,
Steve Young, the
Hmm.
one who wrote A Seven Bridges Road about
Yeah.
where we used to go park. We kept in touch over the years, and he never forgave me for leaving and going to Canada.
Oh.
I was the one that went on down that highway first.
So, because it's interesting, in the end, we hear about a lot of guys from Alabama. You move off to Canada, so it's kind of like, okay, doors closed. But no, because you just revealed that in the end, one of them lured you back. So I guess it was always possible, you know?
Exactly. He and I knew each other in junior high and high school. So we had
Wow.
known each other since we were 13.
also,
Wow.
so
And he liked younger girls, I liked older boys. We never went out together until, boom, we connected on a friend's Facebook after
wow.
all those years.
So I
Wow.
like the fact that that's what the book is about. So it kind of ends there, and I like that. Okay,
Tell me a
that's
little
very
bit about, because PJ, what you maybe don't know is we also have this setting of growing up in Alabama. You were the
mm,
daughter of a preacher. We have there's some racism obviously within the society at that time, which it seems like you never really got. You know, like why have we got separate, windows to go and get served at and all this kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of it
Right.
that is your battle with society as well as some boys that you met, you know?
Yeah, I
mm.
fought it. I fought that racist thing all my life. And even in Canada, I used to give the woman, I used to be in charge of fundraising for the YWCA of Greater Toronto. And I would work late every night. And the woman in charge of the cleaning staff who owned it would get a ride with me every night. I'd give her a ride. And she told me that she was Black from the West Indies, and she had encountered racism because of her skin color, even in beautiful, wonderful, sweet Canada.
Wow.
So I don't know why that is.
That's interesting because we don't get that image of Canada at all.
Yeah.
Right? It's really good.
No, and I was shocked when she told me because I had never encountered that. But of course, look at me.
And
I didn't have to worry about that.
tell me a little bit about how it felt, because there's a little theme in the book as well. Growing up, the daughter of a preacher, you know, you kind of have this goody two shoes idea, like, you know, Miss Prissy, you little Miss Prissy, you call yourself at one point, like that's how people maybe perceived you. You're not going to want to get in on the fun kind of thing. But you did. You were quite wild. You did want to get in on the fun.
I spent my time trying to get rid of that image. But the irony is, when I got to Canada, I worked for 4 years. I had this wonderful job working for Norman Jewison, the film director, and helping him get his film school started. Everybody in that school thought I was a square, and you could tell. I'd walk into a room and everybody would suddenly lower their voice.
Oh,
really?
And you have to tell them, no, I was the one that ran down the street naked when I was a kid, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. I would tell you a good story about that, but I don't know if I can say the word on.
Oh, can you self-censor? Can you don't swear? Yeah,
okay. What it was is for one of the students who especially thought I was a square, I made for Christmas, we all drew each other's names. I drew his name. I made him a gift certificate. It said, to Jim Gerard, that was his name. One, and then I had a big lip print. And across the top it said, fa la 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 fallatio.
Oh goodness.
Sorry, I was just singing a song.
Wow, just a song.
And so when I did that, everybody went, whoa.
Yeah, so I didn't think I was prudish, but maybe I'm a prudish little British boy, because there was some bits in this where I thought, oh, like you talk about parking, you know, and going with the boys in the cars and kissing and things, and I thought, oh, but they're young, like they're teenagers. Oh goodness, you know.
No, that was in college.
Right, that was a what older
early 20s.
Okay, that's not so bad.
But I like the fact that you're, you know, showing what some people would say a vulnerable part of your life, but it isn't. It's just natural, isn't it? So you're just showing yourself who you are. So I found that very brave and necessary. We need more books like that.
I really was. My sisters were not like me. They were proper and wonderful and good church people. I was too. I ended up being a church organist as a career part of and then flipped that over and started raising money.
And you liked Bad Boys. Like some of the boys were. Virgil's the one that I always remember. I know he's one of the earlier ones in the book, but he turned out very bad. And there's the story about you guys being quite young and doing a kind of, let's have a look at each other and see what the differences are, you know.
People
but then
used to call it playing doctor.
Playing doctor, yeah. And then of course he sounds like he grew up to be rather an unpleasant chap altogether. So that's you know, you never know when you're young how people are going to turn out, you know.
Yeah, he was the one that we went out. We found that bag of money in my dad's. I told him about it.
Yes.
He wanted to go to the store with it. We went out and started giving it out.
Giving all the money out to the neighbors.
So one of the mothers called my mother, and she came running along and collected it all.
It was like the church collection money, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
my favorite bit, just on the church collection theme, my favorite line from the whole book is the bit where you've got coins in your pocket, and your mum says, "Where'd you get these coins?" He's like, "Well, I went to the church and they passed around a plate with some money, so I took some." Like, of course, you know, they were just passing it out to everyone, you know.
You know, what is really weird is I don't know if I heard it told so many times, but I remember it. I remember I came back with the extra money and my mom questioned it. I said, well, I took, they were giving it out.
How much of this is your own? Obviously, it's all your own memory, but I mean, are some of those early bits stuff that your mom or your family told to you and reminded you of?
The one where our car stopped on the railroad track.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one, but I heard about it.
That's just family story.
It became it kind of became a memory and both like, oh, it's a story. Yeah. That's nice. Okay.
Well, I love the fact
that
one that was sad for me, this little moment that I thought was powerful. You mentioned one relationship with I think it was you had been writing letters. You call him cuckolded by mail. You had been writing letters to someone else, and he seemed to be kind of very jealous or whatever. But there's a sad kind of moment where when you finally get the divorce, he keeps the letters that you'd written to someone else, and he says, well, they were beautifully written and you never wrote anything that beautiful to me, so I just kept them anyway. That one almost made me cry. That was very sad, and I didn't want to take a side or something. I felt sad for everyone in that.
I know he'll be in the next book.
Okay, so there'll be more.
I'm already writing Northern Men, about the Northern guys.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. Are we going to expect the sequel? Good.
That's great.
And the one that I've kept in touch with too, you would love, because are you folks in Britain?
We're both in. PJ at the moment is actually in Germany. But I'm in UK. Yeah.
Okay. The one of the guys that wrote a blurb of an endorsement, the one named Robert Griffiths.
Yeah.
He was from Ripon. He was born in Stoke-on-Trent. And I met him in college. And he and I still stay in touch.
Good. Wow. So you're good at keeping in touch with people when they're worth keeping in touch with, I guess.
He and I lost touch for many years. And then when my mother died and I was going through her little address book telling people she had died, I discovered his name. My mom kept in touch with him all those years.
That's unusual for your mom to keep in touch with him. Wow.
She just loved him so much. She found him fascinating and interesting. Well, read his endorsement, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I love the book, and I hope that we get that next one sooner rather than later. Do you want to plug it? Where can they find it? Do you want to plug your website or social media?
Amazon. You can go to my website, ellennicols.com. You can order the book from 4 different places.
Cool. I'll put a link anyway. I'll put a link in the show notes, and then they can get that.
The English guy now lives in France. He taught it in Grenoble for many years.
Nice.
And he ordered it from
from Amazon, maybe online. Yeah.
What wasn't it Amazon? It was called. Well, just go and look at all the 4 independent books. Something.
No matter where you are, I guess you can get your hands on it, which is good to know. I'm going to ask you one.
Remember my name.
Do you want to ask anything, PJ, before I do the final question?
Yes, I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to say and encourage you that I think women need this more. I'm just talking about women because you are a woman, and I think that modern women still are confused about these things. So we like to think we live in a modernized world, but sometimes I just encounter people, women and men, who are still very naive and maybe feel that they are strange. So talking about sexual topics, for example, or divorce or any kind of things that are slightly even taboo is very necessary. So I think it's writing about this and that you're writing a sequel because you're definitely helping people out there. So I think it's great that you're doing this.
And you're very, very open in the book, which I think is good.
I like that. Yeah.
Can I tell you about one other quick thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look in the acknowledgments in the blurbs.
Yeah.
The one written by Ann Tyler Harshbarger, who is a retired ballerina. Read what she said. It fits exactly what you just said. She says to women, and I have to be very honest, she's my niece.
Oh
And
wow, okay.
she
Okay,
left
I
me
see
a
it here.
voice message about it. And I wrote it
Mhm.
down and asked her if I could use it.
Nice.
Nice. So
She
you
says
helped
that
her.
you're courageous and brave, and she's in awe of the inspiration of it. I see it here. Perfect.
Yeah.
I see.
And go to her
And even
website if you like yoga. She can do it long distance.
nice. Okay. Well, thanks. Yeah, we advertised her as well. That's fantastic. I love a bit
So
of yoga, and I love that. I love that you help one person, and you've definitely helped more who you haven't received a voicemail, but you definitely have. So, so I encourage you and other writers to just talk about their experiences.
mhm.
Uh, in fact, that would be my advice to people. Be
Mm,
honest. Be
okay.
honest. Say what you really, really feel.
Well, that's great.
Sure.
Thanks.
So I always end every interview with the last question, which is, if there's one book that you wish you had been the person to write, what would it be?
Hmm.
Probably Jude the Obscure.
Oh, I love Thomas Hardy.
I
Fantastic.
love Thomas Hardy so much. I really, really love his writing.
Actually, funny enough,
I've not read a
talking.
lot, but I've got a
That's
couple
good.
on my bookshelf. I just haven't got to them yet because I've always got a massive queue of books. But Thomas Hardy's in the queue.
Okay, good, good, because
Notes
I,
from
I
what
always
I've-
loved his writing.
That's
Well,
great. And he talks about women as well, struggling and very realistic. So I kind of see that theme there. Great.
Far from
Thanks.
the Madding Crowd was a classic of that very subject.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice. Well, Ellen, thank you so much for calling into the show. It's been a pleasure having you, and thank you. I
Well,
really enjoyed the
thank
book,
you.
so I'll keep an eye out for the sequel when we get it.
Okay, the question is, do you want some of the socks? I sent ladies the socks, but I didn't send guys the socks.
Whoa, what? We'll take socks.
Yeah,
Oh,
look, you know what? That's very funny because I always need socks. I always lose socks. So please
well,
do.
yeah, look on the cover. I had someone
Yeah.
make 100 of those socks. I will
Wow.
send you guys. You have to send me your mailing address.
I'll send the address. We'll get some socks. Thank you very
I love
much.
that. I'll make a photo. Please send me some too. I desperately need some. Really
Okay.
appreciate it. That's
Okay,
great.
awesome. Ellen, thank you so much. Have a
Yeah,
good
thanks.
evening.
That was
Thank you.
great.
Bye-bye.
I
I
love that.
enjoyed talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was lovely. Have a nice
Bye-bye.
Bye.
bye.
Wow, there we go. Ellen Nicols calling in to chat about Remember Whose Little Girl You Are. Guys, check it out if you like a memoir.
I love honest memoirs. I think they're fascinating. Love to hear from people's lives. So that was very inspiring. Thanks for joining.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.